Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, apart from the 7-year-olds, because you know what you fucking did, welcome to the Nerd3 Non-Poop Awards for 2015. Yes, we get to talk about good video games. I really tried to squish this list down to 10, but I couldn't do it. This is the best year of gaming we've ever had. This is absolutely the best year of gaming we've ever had. I've said that since the start. I was like, this is lining up to be a really fucking good year of gaming. And now at the end of it, I'm like, yeah, that was it. That's the best year of gaming. Like, we're gonna go back this year and go, hey, wasn't that year fucking exceptional? Because it was. And this list is just gonna be my personal favourites, which is absolutely fine, because my opinions, that's what we're here for. Opinions, etc., etc. Etc. Yes, that's when you do sort of a dance with maracas while saying etc. That's an etc. Is it? Okay, thanks. Right, you've learned something as well. But it doesn't matter what your tastes were, because you may not align with all the things that I've said in these videos, but whatever your tastes were, you had a fucking cracker of a year. This was an amazing year, whatever you liked. There's some RPGs in this list of mine. It was an odd year for me. Shall we get started? I think we should. 15. Undertale. I'm near the end of this, but I just want to give it a mention because it's just so wonderful. It's just so great. It's what the RPG fucking genre needed, was the absolute kick up the arse with something just staggeringly different, but still kind of the same. It's beautiful and brilliant and funny and charming and endlessly charming, fucking aggressively charming. I love it. I loved it to bits, and absolutely go play it, even if you don't give a shit about RPGs, because I fucking hate the things, and Undertale is completely worth playing. 14. The Beginner's Guide. Fucking hell, this game made me uncomfortable. In a good way? Question mark, maybe? I'm not entirely sure. But it was a very, very, very interesting game. Let's call it that. It was an interesting game. The way it played out, the absolute pitch-perfect pacing, the way it drew you into the story by just a framing device for it all being going through this series of this guy's games, and dragged me in, kicked me in the face, spat me out, and then I got to listen to some really awesome podcasts about it and stuff. A great game. A great narrative discussion as well. Everyone took something away from it. More stuff like that. Please, everyone, get on it. 13. Action Hank! Yeah, Action Hank actually finished and properly released this year. And it was one of those games that it's one of those easy to play, impossible to master sort of things, and it just got movement right. You'll see, especially throughout this list, I'm a huge fan of when you actually get a game feeling right, and Action Hank feels right. When you leap on something high, just slide at the right time, just get that boost of speed you needed. It feels beautiful and brilliant, and it reminds me a lot of the older Sonic the Hedgehogs. It's so based on momentum. I mean, it's a wildly different game, but that's the sort of thing it took me to. I just love it. I absolutely fucking love it. Action Hank, if you haven't played it, get on that fucking shit. 12. Infinifactory. Now, Infinifactory answers a question. That question is, what would happen if Douglas Adams had made Portal with a sort of a dark comic puzzle game? This is it. This is what it is. The puzzling I absolutely adore, because it's basically just programming. It's sort of getting the right bits in the right places, thinking it through. The aha moments when you work stuff out are just so... Oh, they're beautiful in this game. The overall story running through everything, the way it's told, the way it's shown, the narrative, the little bits and things you can find. It's dark, it's funny, and it'll make your fucking brain bleed, and it's just fucking brilliant. 11. A thing people notice that I like is when someone takes a really simple idea and does it well, and that's what Rocket League is. Again, it's one of those games that feels absolutely fantastic, and it really nailed the feel. You're really there, and you're driving, and it's really simple to play, and if you want to master it, however good you think you are, you can go on YouTube and watch people who are a million times better than you. That applies to everyone, even the people who are number one in the world, which is weird. But yeah, it's just one of those absolutely real simple games that is really fun to play with a hell of a lot of people. You've probably all already played it a million times. It was also a sequel to the worst named game in the world. But yeah, Rocket League. You've probably played it, but there it is at number 11. 10. Fallout 4. Now, I had a big discussion with Rebecca about where we would be placing Fallout 4 because she is the largest fan of Fallout 4 in the world, and I kind of thought of it as a bit of a mess. But I spent so many fucking hours building really cool looking houses in that game. I will point out, I'm nowhere near finished, and I know I'm never going to finish, but scavenging around for little parts and stuff it's a whole different experience. Like, because we have all these crafting and designing in games like that, and they're always early access, they're always made by little companies, but seeing a AAA company have a crack at it felt great. You have those moments. Fallout 4 is one of those games that gives you those moments. Again, it's an RPG, and again, it's something sort of new for me that I really did enjoy. But I do like the fact when I was looking for ceramic, and then I saw like a fucking cup. Between me and the cup was one of those giant, what are they, death claws or something? Is that what they're called? I can't fucking remember. The giant fucking things. And I was like, I need that cup. And like, it's just beautiful moments like that just emerge out of everything. I absolutely love it. I want to play more of it. It probably would have got higher in this list if I had played more of it. This is the downside of things coming out a little later. But Christ on a bike, I really like the building stuff. I don't know what the rest of the game's like, but I don't give a shit, because I have a house, and fuck you, child that I'm supposed to be searching for. Mama's got a brand new bag. Well, power armor. 9. N++. Oh, again, it's a game that feels just so good to play, and there's so much game to it, and I just love it to absolute bits. I had one of my beautiful gaming moments this year was actually finishing N++, like finishing the whole set of levels, and then just the bar just drops down and there's another set of levels that unlocks. I'm like, am I harder? Oh fuck. It's quite possibly one of the greatest platformers of all time. You absolutely need to play it, and play it a lot. Like a lot. Your mind will go numb, but play it a lot. 8. WWE 2K16. This placed a lot higher than I thought this would place when I started making my shortlist, which incidentally was 35 games this year. 2K16 kind of apologizes for 2K15. 2K15 was okay, and it was like, here's a new engine and stuff, and but it fell apart a bit. 2K16 is the apology. Even if you don't give a shit about wrestling, I recommend picking up because the huge creation suite. You can customize absolutely everything in that game, and the career mode has the greatest mechanic ever, and I will talk about this at length in a discussion video at some point, and that's the star system. Your matches are rated as you go on, which means that I get to positions where I'm about to lose and I will be pinned and get finishes done to me just because I want to get a higher star system. It pushes you and makes you play in an entirely different way to any other wrestling game ever, and it feels a lot more like wrestling, and it's just a million times better than Sheamus being champion. 7. Broforce! Broforce is so much fucking fun to play. It's just stupid. It's stupid and it's fun. Terrain destruction, shooting stuff, constantly changing guys over, so your attacks are constantly twitching and switching around, and I love it. I just love it. I think it feels good. I love playing it. I play far too much of it. I play over and over again. It's just a really, really, really satisfying game to play, and it just makes me all warm and masculine inside. I'm feeling my bosoms. Oh, they're getting quite big, actually. Ooh. 6. Cities Skylines! In 6th place. Yeah. When I put this list together, it was like, but is this better? No, and this one sort of dropped. I thought this would be number 2. And that's where I had City Skylines number 2. And then I looked at the list, and then I thought about it, and then I rewatched my videos on it, have a little play of the stuff, and it goes in number 6. It's a cracking game. It's the best city builder of all time ever. It's one of my favourite games. But there's just so much good shit that came out this year that it's in 6. This is just a testament. Like, from this point on, maybe Broforce point on, everything. Whatever you fucking like in games, I'm going to recommend all of these to you because I just love them. But City Skylines in 6th place. Absolutely cracking game. Best city builder ever made. A giant fuck you to Maxis with their shitty SimCity. And the After Dark expansion adds a fairly amount of good stuff. It's good stuff made by good people, and yeah, you need to play it. Need to. Mandatory. I've written it down here, and you've listened to these words, so it's contractually obliged now. Sorry. That happens. 5. Kerbal Space Program. Ooh, Kerbals. Yeah, I forgot this actually came out this year, didn't it? So that was an odd one to sit on my list, because it's been out, it's been around forever, but it's actually now out, and that's when early access I don't do, but when it actually comes out, I do it, so Kerbal can go in now. Kerbal's a great game, because it's whatever you want to get out of it, you can. If you want to silly bugger about and build giant rockets, I mean, who does that? You can do that. You can build stupid rockets and try and do stuff, but when you start playing it properly, it's all there for you to play properly as well. So it's you can get anything out of it you want, and I kind of like that, and for someone who does the more silly buggering sort of stuff, I kind of also enjoy going over and doing it properly and trying to set up stuff properly and then watching Scott Manley do the proper videos on it and weeping. Weeping so much. So much weeping. 4. The Witcher 3! This was my second place for a while until I thought of 2 other games that needed to go in this bloody list. I fucking adored my time with The Witcher 3, and it was entirely 100% down to the fact that the quests were amazing. The quests were absolutely amazing. I know in the video I called the story bullshit. That's just because I didn't care about it. It was sort of like, because the story is paced sort of like every other story. It's like, meh. But you go through a single quest, and the single quests have more detail than any story in any game ever. Just like the Bloody Baron quest. Fuck me. Just Jesus fucking Christ. If you've not played The Witcher 3, right, I do want to point out, I can't fucking stand RPGs. And I will point out there's, what, 3 in this already? The Witcher 3 is the sort of game that will get me into RPGs and get me into that sort of world. I mean, there's whole chunks of it that I didn't ever use, but it's just brilliant. It's brilliant. 3. Grow Home! Okay, again, a game that feels really good. I loved Grow Home. I really, really, really like small, little experimental games. We've been through this 1,000 times. I love them to absolute bits, and Grow Home is one that just feels good. It's, again, it's sort of a bit climby and wingsuity. Spoilers for one, but it's more of a glider you get later on. But it's just one goal, do the thing, you get there in a few hours, that's it done, and then you can go back and have a bit of a fly around. But it just felt good. It felt good to play. It was good to just go around. It was a beautiful world to explore. The robot was filled with personality. It looks gorgeous. And it was very nearly number 2. Number 2 spot changed around a lot in this one. But yeah, if you've not played it, it's very cheap. It's quite short, and it's just brilliant. Absolute brilliant beanstalk climbing fun. 2. Prison Architect. Oh, Prison Architect. Prison fucking Architect. What a game. It not only sort of reminds me of my absolute love, which was late 90s, early 2000s management games, but it's like those but better, and it does things better, and it's the absolute pinnacle of the early access model. If you want to make a game in early access, look at Prison Architect, study what they did, and just try and do that, because they nailed it. They absolutely nailed it. The final game, I've put way too many hours into. I love that you can sell prisons and then have that money to go towards the next one. I love all of the massively detailed systems and things that you can do. I love changing things up and challenging myself. It's just amazing. It's amazing from me, who's been playing these games for years and years and years and years and years, and also amazing for newbies going to the thing, because it does take you through it quite nicely. I love it. I absolutely fucking adore Prison Architect. It is just, I want to take it out to dinner somewhere and then gently molest it all the way through the night. 1. Any guesses? Right. Unsurprisingly, it's Halo 5 Guardians. No, it's Just Cause 3, Just Cause 3. Of course, it's Just Cause 3. Just Cause 2 was my favourite game ever. Said it 1,000 times. It was my absolute favourite game ever. Just Cause 3 comes along and improves on literally every single bit of it. Just improved every single bit of it and fixed most of the problems I have with it, therefore creating a brand new best game ever. And for me, that's great. I like that the year 2015 ends with me getting a new favourite game, because it's the best year for gaming and I got a new favourite game out of it. But Just Cause 3 is something special. It's just so fun. It's fun. I know a lot of games don't really do fun, and they have their sort of their lower points and their crafting points and their grindy points now, but Just Cause 3 is just pure balls out on top of a cargo plane fun, and it makes me endlessly happy inside. It just inside, I just feel warm and nice. I love it. I love the amount of shit you can do. Story's kind of wank. It's not a perfect game. It's not a perfect game by any fucking stretch of the imagination. I'm not here going, it's perfect. No, that's Portal. But it is my favourite. It is my favourite, and it is the game that I will absolutely recommend to everyone as a, hey, remember when games used to be fun? Shazam! Fucking excellent. What a fucking excellent game that is. Right. That's everything. Now, piss off, go to the comments and tell me why it should have been Fallout 4 and I'm an idiot. Thank you. See you next year. Well, tomorrow.